Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott, and I'm here today with a Get It Scrapped blog layout, and this is the photo that I'm going to be working with. And the photo started off like just a normal photo, and we were standing in the backyard and the sun was kind of going down, and I just looked at my daughter and said, "Oh my gosh, your eyes are so blue, please let me take a picture of them." And so she accommodated me with a picture, but she didn't pose or anything like that. She just kind of had a far off look in her eyes, and I really liked the photo, and so I played around with it in Google's Picasa. And I think this one I used the heat process, and then in this one I used the neon feature, and I just print these at home on my at-home printer. So those are the three photos that I have printed out. I think it's like the 3x4 or 3x5 size. And then I printed this one, and the effects that I used on this one, also in Google's free program Picasa, were like the pencil sketch. And then I removed the color, tinted it blue, and then her eyes are very blue, and the photo really wasn't doing it justice. Like you can just see her eyes are very blue. So I just took a colored pencil and just very lightly colored in her eyes so they would just stand out a little bit more. So these are the photos that I'm working with, and the story of the photos is I think it's just like a stunning photo. And so even though she's not looking at the camera, it just is like, I look at these photos and I kind of think like there's a glimpse of what she's going to look like in the future. You know, you just get those glimpses of your kids every once in a while, and you're like, oh, you just look so much older than you are right now. And so these were the three and the photos, and these are just how I played with them in different ways. And then I went on to Picasa, and I found a quote that said, "You are filled with endless potential and possibilities." And I really liked that idea, and just the idea of she's growing up, and she's 10 now, so she's on the verge of real, and she's my kid that is like wise beyond her years, whereas her brother, who's older, is kind of like, he's still a puppy. So I pulled out some of the papers that I had made that I just made when I had some extra paint. And so this was one of them, and I've started to lay down, this sheet of paper I had made previously, and it was just, I had some extra paint, I was working on something else, and I just like slopped the paint all over this. And so I've done some pre-work, and in most of my videos I do start to finish, but I have done the starting points before I started this video. So I've done some paper selecting and that sort of thing, but I just wanted to sort of walk you through my process so you can see how I put this page together and what my thought processes were. So she loves art, so I liked the idea of using this paper. And then I pulled out the Glitz Color Me Happy line because my daughter is very artistic. She loves art, and so I'm thinking the photos are going to go along this line here. And I actually had the stripes going this way before because she's kind of looking down, but I sort of like it optimistically looking up. And I had a bunch of embellishment packs from the Color Me Happy line from Glitz, and I got those at my local scrapbook store, Whimsidoodle. They had them on sale, and I love a sale. I also had some old sassafras cardstock stickers, and I wanted to spell out possibilities, but I didn't have enough letters to do that, and I really liked the way that this looked. So I'm going to spell always, and I'll show you why. So this is going to be the right side of the layout, and then on the left side of the layout I am going to use this like kind of ombre paper from Studio Calico, and I liked the way that offset the picture. And I also had a blue picture, this same in the same style, and it didn't it didn't contrast quite so well. That's not it. But can you hear my kid? She's like screaming. I just asked the girls to be quiet. Of course, that means like be as noisy as you possibly can. So if you hear that, I apologize. But it is just a fact of life in my house. So this was just another sheet that I had made when I did all that like random art. And it was mostly like using up paint. And sometimes I'll get in the mood to do that. So this is kind of, I've got these two 8.5 by 11 sheets kind of forming a line across the pages, and then this goes right on top, and I thought it would be nice to put a mat on that, and I wanted to use the colors from this, and I found this photo here with the heat process. So I found this, it's a basic gray paper, and I thought that worked pretty well as a photo, like a photo mat. And then I found just a couple of strips of like the part at the top of your pattern paper. And so I wanted to just make a little line almost to signify like it's the end, we're ending something here and we're looking forward. So that's going to go just right there. And then what I initially wanted to do is put one of these photos over here, but then I really didn't like the way that looked. So I like all three of these photos together. And so instead, I just used another sheet of pattern paper and just used that as the repeat over here. So that's going to go there. And then I had another heart embellishment to go just about there. And then I found this transparency. This is also by Glitz Design. It says, "You will always be my sunshine." So I like that sentiment because it's like she's growing up and she's filled with endless possibilities and potential, but she'll always be, she'll always be my baby. So that was going to go somewhere just right over here. And I just had a few more, had this little, like it's a transparency kind of a, what do you call that, like a banner. So I liked having a bunch of stuff over here, and then this was just going to go right to mimic the one over there. Like, so we're looking towards the future. So it's kind of going to go about like that. And this is going to just spell, so instead of spelling the word possibilities, I'm just going to spell the word always. And I might do some journaling. I'm not sure if I will. Up here or maybe down here, just a little note like, you're growing up and the future, the future is full of possibilities, but I hope that you'll always be my sunshine. It's just a sappy mom moment, but you do have these feelings, and I think, or as a mom, and I think sometimes it's just good to get that if you're feeling like that, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it's all going so fast, and so many times I feel that way as a mom, like, you go through, and you just heard me asking if you could hear her screaming. So you go through these like, oh my gosh, you guys are driving me crazy, but stop growing up. So it's this, there's this tension of you want them to stay little, but, and you want to savor every moment, but also, I think that nature makes it so you also want them to grow up. So it's just this yin and yang kind of thing. So I like the idea of always, like, you're still always my baby and you're still always my sunshine. And that was a song that I did sing to my kids. My mom sang that to me. I think it was like something that was popular in the 70s. So all of us that grew up in the 70s probably end up singing that to our kids. So I will just see how far I can get with this. And let's see. What else can I tell you? I like to make scrapbooking videos. Usually my videos are much less well thought out. And so I know this isn't super fast, but it usually I'll go start to finish without fast forwarding, and I just scrap as I am talking. But I see that sometimes it's good to kind of speed some of it up. So I thought this little bit of pre-planning was a good way to do that without me having to fiddle with editing and fast forwarding and all that sort of thing. And I hope that that just kind of shows you how the page goes together, because sometimes you'll just see a scrapbook layout online and think like, how do they ever decide on that? And so I like the idea of just walking you through the thought process of how I chose different things, or how anybody chooses different things, and placement, and why did I put that there. So anyways, that's my thought process. I am Katie Scott, and you can find this layout over at the Get It Scrapped blog, and there are going to be lots of different layouts from other scrapbookers there as well, and they're all like using abstract images in your scrapbooking. So think like Picasso, you know, in modern art. And I didn't distort my daughter's face too much, because I think, you know, to really go all out there with, you know, making your family look like Picasso, I don't know. I'm not sure I wanted to do that to my girl, but I did like the idea of playing with the different colors, because when I took the picture, I was playing with, you know, I was really stunned by, oh my gosh, your eyes are just so blue. And I don't have blue eyes myself. I have like hazel eyes, and so I've always hoped that I would have a little girl with blue eyes, and so I was so delighted when she had these stunning blue eyes. And so I have more than one page. They're just like, oh my gosh, your eyes are so gorgeous. So this kind of plays off that, but it goes a little bit further. So I think I will stop now. So this will be nice and short. But I just wanted to show you kind of the process for how I did this page, and you can see the finished page over at Get It Scrapped. Thank you for watching. I'm Katie Scott, and my blog is called Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking.